Alright, welcome to Talking Investing. I am Tom, and as always, this is not financial advice. Today I want to do a video on Bitfarms, stock ticker BITF. They are a Bitcoin mining company. They put out a press release today. I think it's significant. I want to go through it. I think it really marks a turning point for this company in the right direction. So I want to go through that press release. I want to talk about their stock price, and then we'll look at their chart at the end of the video. So let's start out by looking at Bitfarms. It's trading at 1.005. So that is 1/2 of a penny over $1. This is day 10 for Bitfarms. They were out of compliance with the NASDAQ. They received a notice. They need to close 10 days in a row above $1. They have closed 9 days in a row above $1. This would be the 10th. So by the time you're watching this, you may or may not already know whether or not that happened. I'm not overly concerned with that. If they do miss this and have to reset the clock, they've done that a couple of times. And again, I do think when you see what they're doing, they've turned the corner and they're moving in the right direction. So I am not overly concerned about that. That's my personal opinion. But it would be nice to get that off of their back, right? They're currently out of compliance. So if they could get those 10 days in a row, press the reset button, they'll be back in compliance, and that would be nice. So we'll see if that happens today, or if we got to start the clock all over again. But that's not really what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the press release that they put out today. So let's go right to the press release. As an aside, YouTube revenue has been down drastically in 2023. So if you're interested in supporting the channel and keep me doing these videos on a daily basis, you can actually join the channel by hitting the join button on the YouTube page. It's right next to the subscribe button. It's only $5 a month. Members get a lot of content and perks. We do have a members only live stream every Tuesday after the market closes. We have a members only Discord that I am active on a daily basis. And I do a series of deep dive videos for the members only. So thanks to all the current members for your support, and thanks for joining the Talking Investing Squad and supporting the channel. Okay, April 24th at 7 a.m. this morning, Bitfarms receives permit to power up 100 megawatts in Argentina. So they have been working on this Argentina situation for a couple of years now. 2022 was a big regrouping year. They ran into some trouble. I believe they've gotten themselves out of that trouble. I think they've gotten very healthy, but in the meantime, Argentina, which at one point was going to ramp up to potentially 100 megawatts by the end of 2022, is really only at around 10 megawatts right now. So you can see that they're way behind their initial plan, and that, I believe, was on purpose. I think they've slow rolled this due to several factors. Number one, they wanted to slow their growth and fix their balance sheet, and they've done all of that. Number two, they're highly efficient miners, so they continue to be one of the top 5 Bitcoin miners as far as number of Bitcoin mined per month, and they have a pretty low cost per Bitcoin. So they did spend a year, in my opinion, regrouping, but now here they are circling back around. Okay, Bitfarms will begin drawing electricity from the private power provider at an expected price below 3 cents per kilowatt hour. So that is a highly competitive rate. They went from a crawl to a slow crawl, and now it looks like they're maybe back up and they're going to start walking again here in Argentina. I do think they'll walk before they run, but ultimately you're going to see there's the potential for 210 megawatts in Argentina over the course of probably the next couple of years if things work out and move in their direction. If you enjoy this content, please remember to subscribe to the channel, smash the like button, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. Okay, Bitfarms, a global vertically integrated Bitcoin mining company, confirmed the receipt of the necessary power permits to expand production up to 100 megawatts at its Rio Cuarto, Argentina facility. This is expected to initially double the active capacity to 18 megawatts and increase the company's operational hash rate to 5.0 exahash. The major milestones follow, and I'm going to read to you what follows. But first, I just want to talk about the fact that they are now at 5.0 exahash. So they had to drastically change their plans in 2022. At the end of 2021, they were hoping that by the end of 2022, there would be somewhere between 7.2 and 8 exahash. They ended up cutting that to 4.5 exahash. Most of the Bitcoin mining companies had a similar path. They drastically reduced their plans for 2022. Okay, so all this stuff is happening right now. During the week of April 17th, they racked 2,100 new miners that were delivered earlier in March and April. On April 21st, which was Friday, the private power producer became fully permitted to provide up to 100 megawatts and enabling Bitfarms to commence purchasing low-cost power under its purchase agreement. So that was on Friday. On Sunday, on April 23rd, Bitfarms finished testing of the Rio Cuarto substation, which is now online and capable of delivering 120 megawatts. By April 28th, which is this Friday, Bitfarms expects to increase active capacity over 100% to 18 megawatts by energizing the 2,100 additional miners that are racked and ready, but also ending the underclocking of existing miners in line with improved economics. So they have been underclocking their Bitcoin miners, particularly in Argentina, and they no longer need to do this with this new power agreement set in place. They're now not only going to get the benefit of the 2,100 new machines, but they're going to get the benefit of ramping up their existing machines that are already there. So you can see CEO Jeff Morphy said, this coming week at our Rio Cuarto farm, by energizing 2,100 additional miners and ending our underclocking of existing miners, we expect to add 250 petahash, that's 0.25 exahash, increasing our total hash rate to 5.0 exahash. So that's a nice improvement for them. With the power permit in place, we can now draw power under our contracted agreement, currently expected to be below 3 cents per kilowatt hour, which is currently the lowest rate in Bitfarms' portfolio. So this will come online, and it's going to be the cheapest energy that they have access to. And again, ultimately, if things go well here, and I do expect them to walk before they run, so this could take all of 2023 and maybe some of 2024, but they do have the potential for 210 megawatts. There's a massive amount of potential growth left here if things are going on track. Okay, Ben Gagnon, Bitfarms' chief mining officer, added, in anticipation of the power permit approval, we recently purchased over 6,200 Bitmain and MicroBT miners to fill out an additional 22 megawatts at the first warehouse in Rio Cuarto. These new miners will be in transit shortly and are expected to produce an additional 650 petahash or 0.65 exahash with 31 watts per terahash efficiency, so that's highly efficient. Okay, so in the coming months, this should increase the farm's total hash rate to 1.1 exahash, and by the farm, they're talking about their operations in Argentina, and then they say increase Bitcoin's total hash rate to 5.7 exahash. So you can see they are now starting to grow again. They took about 6 months where they really had to stop growing, get things back in order, wait for things to fall in line, but now it seems like that's happening. So this growth to 5.7 exahash puts them back in the game. There were several other Bitcoin miners that got up and running that are approaching the size of Bitfarms. So it's important that they continue to grow and keep pace with those Bitcoin miners. We used a combination of cash and vendor credits to purchase new miners at $14.10 per terahash. At this favorable pricing, this is a highly accretive transaction, projected to have a rapid payback period and to improve overall gross margins, profitability, and operating cash flow. So all of those things are a good thing. $14.10 per terahash is extremely competitive. That rivals the lowest rates that people have bought these machines at. This to me is a big step in their operations, and it puts them back on a trajectory for growth. So I think they've taken all the steps necessary to get back to healthy and to continue to grow. And I still think that they're very much poised to be a top 5 Bitcoin miner out of all the publicly traded North American Bitcoin miners. Okay, lastly, the company currently has a fully built 50 megawatt farm, which is now permitted to draw power under this agreement. It also has the opportunity to draw 50 megawatts of additional power under this agreement should it build its second 50 megawatt facility, and it retains the option to build out facilities to the full contract amount of 210 megawatts. So this press release sends a clear message as to where I think they're headed in the future. That is my opinion, of course. Okay, so just a quick look. This is their Bitcoin mined by month, really for all of 22 and 2023. So you can see at one point they were up around 500 Bitcoin. They're still at 424 Bitcoin. That was highly competitive. That was top 5 out of all the publicly traded Bitcoin miners in the month of March. I think with this new press release and with the addition of the new machines and no longer underclocking some of their existing machines, I think they'll stay comfortably in that top 5 and get back into this 500 Bitcoin per month range sometime over the next maybe 90 days. I expect to see continued improved operational reports for them on a monthly basis. Let's take a look at their chart. Okay, first I'm going to look big picture and then we'll zoom in. This is Bitfarms on the 1 week time frame. So if I go from their all-time high, which was in November of 2021, so that's when all the Bitcoin miners hit at least a local high, if not their all-time high. That's when Bitcoin hit its all-time high of 69,000. So from there until today, Bitfarms is still down the better of maybe 89.5%. So still close to 90% down off of their highs. This is their stock price. If I take a look at their market cap, we have a similar story here. This was a $1.35 billion company on that same day in November of 2021. And if we look right now, it's a $245 million company. So they've lost over $1 billion in market cap. Now, we've seen they've grown considerably since then. They're now looking at 5 exahash. At that point, they were closer to 1 exahash. So they're 5 times the size company. Now, Bitcoin is down way off of its highs, and there's a lot of other variables. But my point is, both their stock price and their market cap are down drastically. Lastly, I'm just going to take a look at the one-day time frame and take a look at a few potential price targets. This would be day 10 of being in compliance with the NASDAQ of being $1 or higher if they can close there. If not, then they have to press the reset button. But again, I'm not too concerned about that. I do see the momentum of this company moving upward. Again, not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence. These are my opinions, and only time will tell where this stock goes. My first super short-term price target is just a couple of weeks ago. This company was trading somewhere around $1.35. So it's a 35% increase just to get back to where they were a couple of weeks ago. And this company is now better than they were a couple of weeks ago. It would be a 23% increase to get back where they were in February of 2023. And that's when Bitcoin was at 25,000. Bitcoin's now over 27,000. So Bitcoin's higher, Bitfarms bigger, their stock is lower. So none of those things make sense. So those are my super short-term price targets. In August of 2022, that is the last time Bitcoin was at $25,000. Bitfarms was at over $2.30 per share. Bitcoin is now higher than that. It's at around 27,500. Yet Bitfarms would need to increase 132% just to reach the price that they were last August of 2022. So again, they're a much, much healthier company. They had a massive amount of debt at that point in time, and they were struggling to fix their balance sheet. They're on the other side of all that now. It looks like they're back into growth mode. So this is my price target by the end of this year. So obviously, please do your own due diligence, make your own price targets. This is very dependent on Bitfarms executing their plan as well as Bitcoin remaining healthy. So as always, these are extremely volatile stocks. So please be very, very careful in trading. So that's what I have for you on Bitfarms. We'll see how the day ends up. Hopefully they get day 10 and get back in compliance with the NASDAQ. If not, they press the reset button and we start all over. Thanks so much for watching. If you made it this far, please remember to subscribe to the channel, smash the like button, and hit the notification bell. We will see you in the next video.